What's going on, everyone? Welcome to what I hope will be a helpful video to my fellow streamers. My name is Josh. I'm one of the co-hosts of Nerd On, the podcast. We are the podcast you didn't need, but you deserve, and where all levels of nerd are welcome. We are not only an award-winning podcast, but we are also a variety streaming channel over on Twitch. We stream everything from live versions of our podcast to console games. The goal here is to show you how you can get started with Focusrite's Vocaster 1 or 2. I'll go over some software needs, hardware needs, and general basic tips and tricks for any level of setup, from beginner to more advanced. But really, the ultimate goal here is to make it so that you can spend more time streaming, aka more time gaming, and less time messing with audio. That's the boring intro stuff, so how about we get into it? Disclaimer, this video will work under the assumption that you have already watched the Getting Started videos provided by Focusrite in the Easy Start process. You have Vocaster Hub installed, Vocaster is plugged in, and most importantly, you are ready to rock. Do people still say that? Disclaimer Part 2, this video will be focusing on PC streaming, though most of it is applicable for streaming on Mac. I would refer to Focusrite's help documents for the specifics. Okay, so what I will say is that this section here is going to be a lot longer than the other sections, because a lot of what we cover in the beginning section is going to serve as the foundation for intermediate and advanced. I've had a few months to mess around with the Vocaster in our streaming and podcasting setup, and what I love most about it is so easy to use. Essentially, it's plug and play. I don't know why I'm saying essentially. It is plug and play. And that is super important, especially when you're just getting started. You don't want to be bogged down by how does this work? How do I do this? Focusrite took care of it for you, and it's pretty awesome. All right, so let's start off in our broadcasting software. There are a ton of them out there. Even Twitch has their own broadcasting software, but for this video, I will be using OBS with a new scene collection. If you're streaming a game from your PC, your source is going to be game capture. Now, at this stage in your streaming journey, a self camera may or may not be necessary. That's totally up to you. A lot of streamers start off with no camera. That's totally fine. But if you do want a camera, you can get a USB camera. When Nerd On started, we started off with a Logitech C920. And then we worked up to 3 of them when we were doing like tabletop streaming. It's pretty cool. It was pretty fun. We were pretty proud of ourselves. Technology has changed a lot. There are a ton of budget-friendly USB cameras out there. Anyway, plug that in, and this will be a video capture device. Resize it and place it wherever you want it on the canvas. Do keep in mind that some games have user interface things that are on the screen that you might want to broadcast to your audience. So keep that in mind, like if you want your ammo or your health bar to be seen or whatever. Yeah, just keep that in mind. Ooh, audio. For audio, we want to make sure that we have an XLR microphone plugged into Vocaster. If you have the broadcast kit, it comes with headphones and the Vocaster DM14V dynamic microphone. There are a ton of XLR microphones out there on the market. The broadcast kit or studio package, they're just great ways to get everything you need all at once. And know that it's quality gear. Okay, so speaking of headphones, plug in your headphones and adjust to your liking. I highly suggest that you use headphones for all audio so you don't get audio bleed into the microphone. Have you ever been playing games and there's that one person that you play with that has their audio like going through their speaker system or their TV and you can hear everything that's going on and you can barely hear them? Yeah. That's what that's like. I want to take a quick moment as the audio engineer to just say, please be careful not to have your audio levels too high in your headphones. Prolonged high volume sessions like streams could be detrimental to your earballs. Nobody wants that. Video games sound great nowadays. All the sound design, the music, everything. And I just want you to be able to hear it for a long time to come. My suggestion is that you turn your volume all the way down while you're getting everything set up. And then I'll have them off my ears. And then when I'm pretty sure, I'll start turning the volume very slowly. I don't have the volume cranking and then put it on, because what if you play something and it's a lot louder than you thought it would be? Anyway, moving on. Make sure your default output is set to Vocaster. That way your game audio is routed to the show mix using the Loopback feature. I'm saying that slowly because I've filmed this phrase many times and messed it up so many times. Pro beginner tip, if you're using a chat program like Discord, you can route that to Loopback 2 and mute that when you don't want your audience to hear your chat. It's pretty cool. Anyway, add the Vocaster as an audio source in OBS. I'm gonna call this my spicy fun tip. If you're feeling spicy and you want to add some copyright-free music to your stream for ambience and from like Spotify or YouTube, you can take an aux cable, like a 3.5 millimeter aux cable, also known as a TRRS cable, and plug that from your phone into the aux port in Vocaster, and you can add music. If you have the Vocaster 2, you can use the Bluetooth connection. Pretty sweet, right? Pretty spicy. Is that spicy? It's probably not all that spicy. It's just cool. Did you know that most games today, in fact, I'm pretty sure all games today have copyright music in them? And if you stream those games, you could get like a copyright strike, or your stream could be muted, your VODs could be muted. What's cool is that a lot of games nowadays have like a streamer mode or streamer safe mode, those kinds of things, and it will only play copyright safe music. So you might want to look into whatever game you're streaming, the audio settings, and see if they have a streamer mode, or turn the music all the way down and add your own music with what I talked about before. Circling back, we're stacking. We're building on top of each other. When it comes to streaming consoles, things get a little bit more complicated because what we're going to need is some sort of capture card. At this stage, a USB capture card is going to be fine. Something like an Elgato HD60X or AverMedia Live Gamer Series. Again, this is up to you. There are plenty of 4K 60 frame per second USB options out there. This capture card is going to be your video source. Another thing with console gaming is that you're going to have a choice to make. Are you going to broadcast party chat or game chat? If not, then you're good to go with just the capture card because the audio is going to be routed via the HDMI. But if you do want to, you're going to need something like the Elgato Chat Link. This is going to plug into your controller and it's going to split the audio to your gaming headset and to an aux that can be plugged into the aux port on the back of Vocaster. This also becomes the audio source for your game audio. The cool thing about having your console audio going to the aux port is that it becomes something that you can control. You can unmute and mute the aux port, which gives you options for whether you want to broadcast game audio. Oh, yeah, make sure you go through the stream setup in OBS or your broadcasting software so that it has your streaming key so that it can stream to your channel. I think all of them have like an easy setup guide right when you open it for the first time that will help you through this. Wait. Is that it? Is that the last detail? I think we're ready to stream. Do it. Press the button. Do it. Start streaming. Do it. I get excited about this stuff. Anyway, next section. A lot of what we covered in that beginning section is going to apply here. We have all the basic elements in place, and as we move up to the intermediate setup, we're going to have some upgrades that we can make. Now, remember when I said, and what I love most about it, it is so easy to use. So that's pretty much it. Your Vocaster is set up and is pretty much going to stay the same. What you could do, though, if you have a second computer, and if you have the Vocaster 2, you can use the Bluetooth connection and have your music going through that. Nothing is going to change in terms of streaming your games on your PC and how it works into OBS, but we can start looking at upgrading our camera. USB cameras these days are pretty good, so maybe at this point you upgrade from a 1080 to a 4K. The super upgrade, like super upgrade, is you get yourself an Elgato Cam Link, which is basically like a USB capture card for a high quality camera. These work with most major brands like Canon, Blackmagic, and more. But make sure you reference the compatibility chart that Elgato has on their website before you commit. Another cool upgrade that you could do at this point is to start making your stream look all flashy with overlay elements. There are a ton of websites that sell like overlay packages. You can even make them yourself. Yeah, you could add like a camera border or like a bar with like information on it. The point is there's a lot you can do here. Now, when it comes to streaming consoles, here's another upgrade you can make. You can upgrade your capture card to a PCIe capture card that's built right into your computer, like the Elgato 4K 60 Pro or the AverMedia Live Gamer 4K. This is up to you. USB capture cards are still a solid option, but they aren't always the best option because of hardware capability. It's a wonder I haven't said this before this point in the video, but this wouldn't be a bad time for you to consider getting something like the Stream Deck by Elgato. It makes switching between your different scenes smooth and easy. You know, another spicy fun tip, if you have multiple consoles, you can get an HDMI switcher and switch between them live. That's way too spicy for me. I don't have that, but that sounds really cool. So if you do, that'd be pretty cool. We like options. So I'm repeating myself, and I apologize, because that's just bad writing, but this section is just going to be building upon what we already learned. So this section is going to be more suggestions on what you could do from here, because what you've learned before, you're already good to go. But let's focus on the Vocaster here. This is, after all, a video about how to stream with the Vocaster. Yeah, if you have the Vocaster 2, you actually have a lot more options to play with. Like, what if you want to have a friend join you on your stream? Maybe a little couch co-op action? Well, the Vocaster 2 has 2 inputs and 2 outputs. And the Vocaster 2 has that Bluetooth connectability. You could take a phone call and have that phone audio broadcasted to your stream. This is a great option for like live stream podcasting and having guests on your streams. Okay, so this will be my last pro tip. Did you know you can unlock every input and output of the Vocaster? You totally can. If you go into the Focusrite driver options, you can unlock every single input and output and use those as individual sources in your broadcasting software. Then, and this is really important, super important, go into your Windows sound options and rename those inputs and outputs so you know what they are. Trust me, you will thank me. Why is this cool? Well, let me tell you. Your stream starting soon screen could just be your Bluetooth input, and you don't have to worry about muting and unmuting sources when you go live on camera, because remember, like we talked about in the beginning section, we're using the show mix, which is everything. It's your microphone, your guest microphone, aux, Bluetooth, Loopback 1 and 2, everything summed down to the show mix. Also, if you're hosting a podcast live on stream, you can still talk to your co-hosts or guests on mic during the starting soon screen and don't have to mute anything, because the Bluetooth is what is broadcasting, and you can still talk to people in whatever you're using, like OBS Ninja or Discord or whatever. It's pretty cool, right? I thought it was cool. Do keep in mind that this video is meant to be a basic starter type video. There is so much you can do to creatively express yourself while streaming, and there's a place for everyone. I don't have enough space here and time to be able to express everything you could do on stream. The point is, Vocaster is versatile and can be used in any level of setup. It is incredibly easy to use, so you can spend less time messing with your audio and more time streaming, aka gaming, or making art, or music, or podcasting, or whatever it is that you want to do on your streams. This thing makes it easy to do it. If you're looking for a solid audio interface for all your streaming and podcasting needs, Vocaster is an excellent piece of gear to get started and to make quality content. In fact, it's what I use to make this video. For more information about Vocaster and all of Focusrite's products, subscribe to Focusrite's channel here on YouTube, youtube.com/FocusriteTV. If you'd like to find out more information about Nerd On, subscribe here on YouTube, youtube.com/NerdOnThePodcast, or you can watch us live on Twitch, twitch.tv/NerdOn. Well, that's it. That's the video. Thanks for watching, and yeah, go make stuff. Have some fun. Bye.